Greetings, everyone, and welcome to our next in series of educational webinars for the AgVets program. I am Nancy Monroe with the Kentucky Department of Agriculture, and this evening I will be presenting on opportunities that are available for veterans to market their products. So I'll be presenting, and then also we have a video from Wendy Abbott with Kentucky State University, where she talks about social media and different ways to advertise your business on social media. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Like always, you can always reach out to myself or anybody else, Kelly Padgett with KCARD or Wendy Abbott. My information will be a couple times throughout this presentation, so please feel free to reach out to me if you're viewing this later on a recorded link too. So we'll go ahead and get started. I will go ahead and share my screen here. Bear with me. Okay, so like I said, my name is Nancy Monroe with the Kentucky Department of Agriculture, and I'm a program coordinator with the department. I'm with the Office of Ag Marketing within the department, and our mission is to assist farmers and ag businesses and other commodity groups in promoting and marketing their products by expanding existing markets and developing new markets. Kentucky Proud is the official state marketing program for products that have been grown, raised, processed, packaged, or manufactured in Kentucky. It is funded by the Agricultural Development Fund. And now there is actually over 10,000 active members. I see I need to update that are enrolled throughout Kentucky, and we have members in all 120 counties. It is easy and free to join. You can apply online at www.kyproud.com. Once you become a member of Kentucky Proud, it makes you eligible for various grant opportunities and other programs. And it also helps you when you're applying for other grants, even outside the Kentucky Department of Agriculture. Our main focus is to increase the farm gate impact for our producers and our farmers across the state. If you have questions about the KRS that governs the definitions for who can be members of Kentucky Proud, you can reference the KRS 260.016 for that information. Within Kentucky Proud, we have two other logos that fall in the umbrella, the Kentucky Proud umbrella. We have the Appalachia Proud and the Homegrown by Heroes, and I will definitely talk about both of those. So the Kentucky Proud Homegrown by Heroes program was launched in 2013 under the Kentucky Proud umbrella. And on Veterans Day of 2013, the Farmer Veteran Coalition introduced the logo on the national level. There are currently over 240 Kentucky Proud Homegrown by Heroes members. The goals for this program, and this is something that is obviously specific for veteran farmers, either veteran farmer or somebody who is still active duty. The goals are to provide Kentucky farmers who served in the military a distinctive marketing and branding power to add to your locally grown and raised agricultural products. This also allows consumers to identify your product as being raised or grown by a veteran. The eligibility for Homegrown by Heroes is that you have honorably served or are currently serving in good standing in any branch of the United States military. Farm or businesses and have a farm or business located within Kentucky. You have to grow, raise, or add value to a Kentucky agricultural product. When it comes to the value added requirements, please reference the eligibility at the website down below here, because there is a little bit more stringent guidelines for that. And you must be a current member of the Kentucky Proud program. To become a member of the Homegrown by Heroes, what you need to do for a veteran is submit a copy of your DD-214 to myself. And my email will be listed later on. On this, it must show, I think it's Form 4, but it must show the nature of your discharge, showing that you were honorably discharged. Feel free to block out your Social Security number. We do not need that information. If you do not want to submit a copy of your DD-214, you can certify your Homegrown by Heroes eligibility through the Farmer Veteran Coalition. and then submit a copy of that certification to KDA. If you're currently on active duty, you can either verify through the Farmer Veteran Coalition or submit a letter of good standing from your commanding officer. The Kentucky Proud Appalachia Proud program was launched in 2014, and it was expanded in 2019 to conform with the Appalachia Proud to the definition of Appalachia, which the Federal Appalachian Regional Commission uses. In October 2020, there was the new logo, which you see above here, was launched. It currently includes 54 counties, and we have over 3,300 members in the Appalachia Proud program. Now you may ask, can I be Kentucky Proud, Homegrown by Heroes, and Appalachia Proud? And the answer is yes. If you were to qualify for both the Homegrown by Heroes and the Appalachia Proud program, you could have both of those titles along with Kentucky Proud. Moving on, some of the other programs that the Kentucky Department of Ag, Office of Ag Marketing has to offer is one of the main ones and a cornerstone of the Kentucky Proud program is the Point of Purchase or POP grant. This is a 50-50 grant that helps you cover eligible expenses for marketing and advertising your business. You're eligible to receive up to $8,000 in 12 months with a lifetime cap of $36,000. Eligible members may be reimbursed of 50% on advertising and marketing expenses that are co-branded with any of the Kentucky Proud logos. So they could be the regular Kentucky Proud logo, the Appalachia Proud logo, or the Kentucky Proud Homegrown by Heroes logo. Applications are awarded based on 10% of your direct farm impact. And it's an ongoing award throughout the year as long as there is funds available. Applications must be received by the last day of the month to be reviewed at the next month's grant committee meeting. So therefore, we're in the month of June. If you want your application reviewed in the month of July at that meeting, you would need to have your application in our office by June, the end of the day on June 30th. You might ask, what all does this grant cover? And here is just a small, just a snippet of what this grant would cover. Anything from radio and TV ads, web expenses, if you're building a website, hats, t-shirts, clothing, giveaways. If you're doing product label and packaging, say you're doing a value-added product, whether it's freezer meat or jams, jellies, baked goods, if you have professional labels done, as long as you have one of the Kentucky Proud logos on there, then this could go to that. UPC barcodes, graphic design, vehicle wraps, business cards, newspaper and print, the list goes on and on. So I highly encourage you to check out this program. It is a great program, and it covers 50% of your advertising expenses after you have been approved for the grant. One of the next programs that we have is the Kentucky Proud Buy Local program. This is a program that rewards restaurants for purchasing local products. So you might say, why are you talking about this right now? I'm a producer, I'm not a restaurant. Well, if you are selling directly to a restaurant or any other food service entity, whether maybe it's a hotel, maybe it is a school, any type of food service entity, if you're selling to them and you're a Kentucky producer, you want to make sure that that food service entity knows about this program, because this program will reimburse them up to 15% of what they buy from you. So it's basically a reward to them for buying local. So make sure any food service entities that you do business with know about this program. Another program we have is our Farm to Fork. This is capitalizes on the local food movement, and it's where organizations and businesses host family style meals. It's usually a ticketed event with the proceeds going to a nonprofit. It's a really neat event if you're ever able to attend one in your county or you're able to host one. This one here was held at Poor's Nursery in Logan County, and the benefit charity for them was the Logan County football team. Sometimes it's 4-H in your county, sometimes it's FFA, sometimes it's a mission group, or any other type of 501c3 that you would like the funds to go from this, they would be eligible. So it's a really great program and encourage you to check that out in your county. Another benefit of being a Kentucky Proud member is the at cost program. What this program is we buy stickers like the one that you see here, the label, the Kentucky Proud label. We buy banners, stickers, hats, car decals, etc. We buy those in bulk and we turn around and sell them at our cost. So since we buy in bulk, we are able to get them at a much discounted rate on which you would be able to do that. So for more information, please visit KentuckyProud.com for that. And just quickly, some of our other programs, and these are just as important as the main ones that I highlighted in the beginning, but we have many other programs and technical assistance available from the Office of Ag Marketing. There's livestock marketing specialists that work with beef, cattle, sheep and goat, aquaculture, dairy, and there's the meat grading program. If you are a beef producer and you are selling freezer meat, definitely check out this program. For free of charge, they will grade your meat, your carcasses as choice, prime, however they grade, and they'll work with you to help you improve your grade also. There's plant marketing specialists, there's hay and forage testing, hemp, ginseng, specialty crops, you name it. Organic certifications, if you're looking at going organic, we do certify using the USDA organic program. Produce safety program, farm to retail liaison. If you are selling direct to the consumer and you want to make that jump to the retail side of this and sell into larger grocery stores, etc., we have individuals in the office that will help you with that. Direct farm marketing specialist, this is the division I work in, and I work specifically with farmers markets, community supported agriculture, CSAs, and agritourism. Ag education, farm safety, the PACE program is a farm preservation program, shows and fairs, and the Kentucky Proud Livestock Tag program. So now we'll get more into the meat of what we're talking about tonight. And these are options for marketing your products. Basically, you have two main options. You can go the direct farm marketing route where you sell directly to the end user. This is definitely an easier entry point to get into the market and to start selling your product. And it also, you can command a higher price using this option. Some of these ways that you could sell under the direct farm marketing would be through community supported agriculture or CSAs. Those are usually food products. And if you don't know what those are, that's where a customer takes and buys basically a prepaid subscription from you. So they support you early on in the growing season. And then in return, you would be delivering a box of vegetables or something else to them every week or on a predetermined amount of time or interval schedule when you do that. Like I say, it's usually food products. Produce is the most common, but there are ones that are protein oriented or maybe ones that add protein, whether they're eggs or freezer meat into the produce box. There's farmers markets, and then there's your on-farm market. In this presentation, I am going to focus more on farmers markets because that is probably the most popular way that producers, especially new producers, get into marketing their product. And then the other, from going to direct farm marketing, you can also go the commercial or wholesale route. Depending on what you're doing, there's more permits that may be required, and some of those permits can get more expensive. But if you're interested in that, please reach out to myself and I will help you get in contact with individuals that can help you. So regardless of which way you're marketing your product, I highly encourage you to check out the KDA's Farmers Market Manual and Resource Guide. There's a screenshot of it here on the left-hand side of your screen. This is a manual that we update every 2 years, and it's a partnership between the Department of Agriculture, the Kentucky Department for Public Health Food Safety Branch, and the University of Kentucky College of Ag, Food, and Environment Extension Program. What can you find in this manual, you might be asking? It provides resources, contacts. Who do I contact about maybe selling your produce, or what permits do you need? We have contacts from the University of Kentucky, contacts within the Kentucky Department of Ag. We highlight other organizations, whether it's Community Farm Alliance, KCARD, Kentucky Horticulture Council. USDA, FSA. We highlight all these different organizations that can help you out depending on what you're needing. We talk about scales if you're going to be selling at a farmer's market. How do you sell eggs? What is needed in stuff? Selling honey, meat sales, it goes on and on here. So pretty much anything you need to know about your what processes or what permits are needed, you can find in the farmer's market manual. Just quickly covering, I do encourage you to, if you have a product that you're growing, if you can make that into a value added product, you can, that's a way to get more money for your goods. So say you are raising produce and you sell your squash at the farmer's market, but in the height of the season, you have extra squash. So if you have a permit to do home-based processing, you could also sell zucchini bread. That's just a way to use your extra produce that you have. If you raise different fruits and you have more than what you can sell, you could freeze those and process those into jams and jellies later on. Kentucky is very fortunate to have what's called the home-based processing program, and this allows Kentucky residents to process in their home kitchen some non-potentially hazardous foods that are included but not limiting to herbs, spices, nuts, candy, dried grains, whole fruits and vegetables, mixed greens, jams, jellies, sweet sorghum syrup, preserves, fruit butter, bread, fruit pies, cakes, and cookies. So there's a whole list of stuff there. Candy cannot contain alcohol, and it must be produced with no bare hand contact. And then no low sugar or sugar-free jams, jellies, or pepper vegetable jellies are allowed in this category. There is a category for that, and I'll talk about that in just a few minutes. These products may be sold directly to the consumer within the state. So that is, a very big thing, directly to the consumer. So you can sell them at a farmer's market. You can sell them from your home farm. You can sell them at a festival or other community event, but you cannot put these products in a retail outlet. You have to sell this product directly to the consumer. Home-based processors also may not have an annual gross income of more than $60,000 from the sale of these products. So moving on, you do have to register as a home-based processor, and to do so, you would access this application that is on the Food Safety Branch's website, fill that out, submit it along with a $50 check to the Food Safety Branch. Specific questions about this program, you would need to contact the Food Safety Branch, and there is their phone number. Here's just another list of this broke down in another way of all the different items that you can sell under this home-based processing program. So moving on, you might ask, I make salsa. How can I sell that? I didn't see that was allowed under home-based processing. Well, it's not, but we do have a program for that too. And it's called the Home-Based Microprocessing Program. This is for Kentucky farmers who grow and harvest produce to use in their home kitchen to process value-added products. And unlike the home-based processing program where you did not have to have an ingredient that you grew in the final product, with the home-based microprocessing program, you have to have an ingredient that you grew in that product. So if you're going to make salsa, you would need to either grow the tomatoes or the peppers or some of the herbs that are in that product. You don't have to grow everything that's in it, but you would need to grow an ingredient that is in it. This program allows you to sell these higher risk items such as canned tomatoes, sauces, pickled fruits and vegetables, barbecue sauce. If you do a pepper jelly or hot pepper jelly, that's allowed under this. So these items are they're higher risk. So that's why there is more requirements to it. These products are also limited of where you can sell them at. You can only sell them at a registered farmer's market with the Department of Ag, a Farm Bureau certified farm market, or from your own on-farm market. Unlike the home-based processing program, there is more to do to apply to become a home-based microprocessor than just submitting the application. First, you must attend a home-based microprocessor workshop and pass the test. These workshops are only offered in the winter and early spring, and you would they're offered at your local extension office. So you would contact them for that information. Then you need to have your recipes approved by Miss Ann Hall Norris at the University of Kentucky. After you have taken the class and had your recipes approved, then you would submit a packet to the food safety branch that includes your workshop certificate, a copy of your recipe, and a copy of your draft labels, and your $50 permit fee. So moving on, sometimes you might want to make something that doesn't fall under the home-based processing or home-based microprocessing permit. So if that's the case, then you would need to explore getting a commercial food manufacturing permit and processing your items in a commercial kitchen. There are funding opportunities out there to help you with establishing a commercial kitchen. So please reach out to myself. I can direct you in the area of where to go for that, or the Kentucky Center for Ag and Rural Development. KCARD is a great resource to learn about different funding opportunities for establishing a commercial kitchen. So now moving on, I'm just going to talk some quick tips for selling at a farmer's market. Like I said, there's other ways that you can direct sell to the consumer, and some of these tips, they'll apply to your own on-farm market. But selling at a farmer's market is the way that most new producers get into marketing their products. So just some basic customer service stuff. Would you prefer to buy something from a stand that looks like the individual on the top here, or from a vendor who looks like on the bottom? What sells your product? What sells your product is having a clean, neat appearance, having a booth that is well kept, it's free of trash, it's well organized, and it has somebody working your booth that is attentive to the customer. So whether that is you or an employee that you have, you want to make sure you're attentive to the customers that are around. Body language. You can lose a customer without saying a word. I kind of usually joke that I should put a picture of my son, one of my sons, in here, because he wears his emotions on his arm, and you would think he's upset without him saying a word, but I haven't put him in here, so I'll just stick with this cute little girl here. Anyways, but what is some body language that turns people off? Are your arms crossed? Are you frowning? Are you not making eye contact? Are you talking to customers with your back to them? Sometimes if you're grabbing something else out of your vehicle, that's one thing, but are you not turning around to focus on them? And here is a big one is, are you checking your phone and not paying attention to who is at your booth? Once again, if you have employees or volunteers working for you at your booth, that is a big one, especially if it's somebody that is younger in age, because they tend to be on their phone more. So just make sure you set good rules with that. You want to portray positive customer service. Speak first, just a simple hi, how may I help you? If your booth is located somewhere within the farmer's market where people are walking into the market area, speak up and say hi to them. Let them feel welcome just to be at the market, even if they're not interested in buying something from you. Listen to what they're saying and concentrate on the customer that's at your booth at that time. Always say, see you next week, and let your good customers know what you'll have next week. Kind of give them an inside tip and say, hey, you might want to get here early because my corn on the cob will be here next week, and I'm probably only going to have a small amount, so you'll want to get here early for that. It's always good. That makes that customer feel special, feel valued, and it goes just a long way in establishing and building that relationship. Something I do want to tell you, if you're a new vendor at a market, please realize it takes a little bit of time to build a relationship with the customers that are coming through there. You have to realize that the customers that are coming to the market, they have probably been visiting the market for a while, and they might already have various vendors that they're used to buying from. And so don't feel bad about that. But if you're just saying, hi, how are you? And just kind of break that ice and just smile at them, they will eventually come to you also. But just know, as a new vendor, it might take that whole first season to really start building your customer base. So don't give up, just keep plugging away at it, and it will come. Something I also don't talk about in this presentation, and I apologize, but now that COVID is more or less behind us, sampling is once again allowed at farmers markets. And depending on what you're selling, offering a sample of your product is a great way, whether you're a new vendor at that market or an established vendor. Sampling is a great way to get people to try your product. It brings them in so you can have more conversation with them. And then once they taste it, they'll probably like it and end up buying from you. Just think about the times you've gone to the big box stores, the wholesale clubs, and you've ended up tasting something that they're offering samples of, and you didn't plan on buying it that day, but you ended up buying it. So sampling does sell. Just some ideas to make your for your display. You want to make it look attractive. Because an attractive display draws customers to your booth. You don't have to spend a lot of time with that, but just make it neat and attractive. If you use some shelving to add height to your display, like you see in both of these options here. You want to keep your baskets full. Nobody wants to buy that last handful of green beans. So as your day goes on and you're running out of product, downsize the basket it's in. Make the baskets look full because people like buying from something, just give that sense of fullness. You could tilt your product forward so people can see it as they approach the table. I have an example of that on the next slide, I believe here. An idea is to create bundles or gift baskets of your products. So especially say you're doing a value-added product like a soap, goat milk soap or something like that. Create a bundle. Do maybe soap, a couple different kinds of soap, or maybe you have a lotion that you make also. Do a soap and a lotion or something of that nature. If you sell meat, freezer meat, create bundles of that. What is your highest selling cuts? Take those cuts that are really popular and bundle those with a couple cuts that maybe aren't as popular that you have trouble moving. And when you bundle those together, and if you have that priced right, that is a way to help move those least popular or less popular cuts. So just an idea to think about. And you want to make sure you keep your exhibit clean and also make sure you're clean. I have been at the markets. I used to sell at markets with my family, and I know what it's like. You're getting ready to go to the market. You're running in from the field. You're getting everything packed, especially for an afternoon or evening market, and then you're rushing off to get to the market. Just make sure you change your shirt. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but make sure you change, not covered in mud like you just came out of the field. Wash your hands, make sure they look clean. And, your vehicle doesn't have to be perfect by any means, but, wash some of the extra mud off there or whatever. Just, you want to give that clean appearance. Here's just a couple more ideas of ways that you can set up your booth. This one here on the left-hand side of the screen, it's kind of hard to advertise when you're selling freezer meat because obviously you can't have those products sitting out. So definitely signage, having your prices and people know what you have, your inventory list, that really helps out. And here's just some more examples of selling some soap here. This one on the right, they sell a little bit of craft. They also have some jams and jellies, and they do freezer lamb. So just some different ways, different ideas for your booth. And once again, here's some examples of vegetables. This one in the middle here with the tomatoes and squash. That's where I was showing, tilt it forward so people can see what you have. The one on the left-hand side is an idea of a gift basket that you could do to help sell more of your product. And moving on to product signs, you want to make sure you label your product. What is the vegetable? What are you selling? And how much is it? People don't want to ask questions. They're a lot of times shy to ask questions. So if you have it labeled, that helps them not feel silly or embarrassed from asking a question. And you can even put not only the price, what is it, half runner green beans, the price, and you can say, they're good with new potatoes. If you're selling apples and you have several different varieties of apples, maybe list on the sign, on the price card, what are those apples good for? Are they good for making applesauce? Are they good for eating fresh? Are they good for apple pies? That just helps the customer know what that product is good for. And moving right along, I encourage you to brand your product. I guarantee you that every one of you seeing this could look at these logos here, these 6 logos, and you know exactly what product they are identifying. So I encourage you to brand your product. Brand it with one of the Kentucky Proud logos so people know that it is produced and raised here in Kentucky. And I encourage you to take it a step further and brand your own farm. You know, come up with a farm logo. Wendy Abbott will be talking about in a little bit some ways to create a logo. But this is especially important if you sell at multiple farmers markets. This family here that I have pictured, they sell at the 2 different markets in Jessamine County. And they told me that before they got the t-shirts and the signage, that people did not realize that they were the same family that was selling at both of those markets. But once they, got the signage, got the banner, and got the t-shirts, people realized that, oh, that's Clover Hilltop Farm. They're both at the Nicholasville Market and the Jessamine County Wilmore Farmers Market. So it just helped them out. And the shirts that you see here, I believe there's Kentucky Proud logo on the back of them. The sign, the banner that they have, with the Kentucky Proud logo there, that is stuff that can be covered on that 50-50 cost share grant that we have, the promotional grant that we have. So I urge you to check that out and to brand your product and brand your farm. So cash only versus accepting credit cards. If we were in person, I always ask everybody, who has cash on them? And depending on the age, sometimes some of the folks that are up there a little bit more in age, they would definitely have cash on them, but definitely your younger population does not carry cash on them. So I really encourage you to look into accepting credit cards. Anything from Square, there's many different ways that you can accept credit cards, or now there's even Venmo, there's Apple Pay, Google has a pay thing. So just figure out ways that you can possibly look at accepting something other than cash. Because, people might say, and I've been guilty of this too, if I don't have the cash on me, I'll be like, let me go get some cash and I'll come back. But especially if you have kids with you, how many times do you go back? But if you do have the ability to accept credit cards or some other electronic means of payment, it will increase your sales. So finally, I am not going to spend too much time on this since we have a whole presentation coming up about it. But do you need to be on social media? And the answer is yes. Your business needs to be on social media. Whether you're personally active on social media or not, your business needs to be on social media. And why do you need to be on social media? It allows you to connect with your customers and tell your story. In agriculture, we have to tell our story. We have to tell our story of who we are, why we do what we do, why we love what we're doing, and why we have a great product. We have to tell that to the customers. And through social media, that allows you to do that. It also allows you to keep your customers updated on what you have available. And in 2021, an online presence is expected. One really nice thing about Facebook is if somebody were to Google, say, Monroe Enterprises on Google, and if I have a Facebook page for Monroe Enterprises and Farms, that would come up. So that's really something really nice about Facebook, but there are many other social media platforms. And like I said, Wendy will be talking about that more in depth in a few minutes. There are a couple different, besides the presentation that Wendy's going to be giving here in a few minutes, there are a couple different presentations that were done back during the wintertime. And I would highly encourage you to check those out also to learn more about social media and ways to market your business. There are some really great speakers on those programs too. So just quickly before we move on to the next speaker, just some other resources that are available. The Kentucky Center for Ag and Rural Development, KCARD, they help with a lot of different, anything from business planning to marketing to grant funding. They can be there to help you with that. Kentucky State University, they have many great programs. Highly encourage you to check them out. And last but not least is our great partners at the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension, especially if you are selling produce, doing anything value added with that. check out the Center for Crop Diversification. They have many great resources there that can help you with that. So once you're a Kentucky Proud member, I encourage you to join the Kentucky Proud Facebook marketing group, which is only open to Kentucky Proud members and our staff. It is not a group to sell your product, but it's a group to network, to ask other producers how they would do something, or if you're trying to source something, say you start an on-farm store and you want to carry other people's products in your store, that's a place where you can ask for that. Or if you're needing to buy something that's Kentucky Proud from somebody else, you could say, hey, I'm trying to source this for a project that I have. Here is the Department of Ag's social media links. Highly encourage you to check those out. And last but not least, here is all of my contact information. Please feel free to reach out to me via email, phone, anytime, and I'm happy to help you out however I can. I don't claim to know all of the answers about everything, but I will help find you and get you connected with a person that can help